Thursday night, which I'm not going to be able to make it this Thursday either. But I enjoy that so much. And I've done portraits of people my whole life. It was only this last April I started doing pets. So this is really new to me to do pets. Well, let's say I can copy anything. I have always had a good eye for copying. I'm a good copy. I always say I'm not an artist, I'm a good copier. And I really do.
A forger, you can get it Van Coles.
What's that?
To get it correct, everything correct.
Yeah.
What do you do to transfer, sort of, do
you want me to tell you my real secret?
Your big secret, yeah.
I photocopy the photo and enlarge it.
Yes.
And then I have tracing paper, graphite paper, and I lay it out
So you get,
most of the time. Most of the time,
positions where
I get the eyeballs right on because I don't want to worry about getting it. Like today, I got a reasonable, but it's not accurate. If I was going to give that to the person, I want to make sure it's right on.
Right.
So I do take out that guessing and do my little tracing and put it on the paper, and that way it can go right on this paper, the graphite, and I leave my basic markings with the eyes, the mouth, the nose, the outside surrounding edge of the face. That way I know that's done. Then I whip that graphite paper away and I go to work and I have fun with the color.
Somebody today told me what they do is put a lot of chalk on the back of the graphite.
Oh yeah, and then trace it on from that. It's the same idea. It's like I just get graphite paper. It's just you can buy graphite paper at Hobby Lobby, and it doesn't leave too hard of an imprint on there. And I do it lightly just to get the basic outline. Now today I actually did it at home. Eyeballed it, and I just took a white pen and eyeballed it, just looking at. I mean, I can do that. I've done it my whole life, but to take that guessing and that extra time out, I just trace it on, and especially when I'm doing a house. Like I did a couple of homes recently in pastels, and that's so difficult. Like I saw Scott's work. Oh my gosh, that house with all the details and the architecture. I definitely traced that one. So because the fun part is to be working in the color and doing the sketchiness of it. I love the final effect of it. And like say if that cat had more white, which it does have some white in here. Just look how much fun that is to go like that, and add the texture. And that's what I love. I love texture on a cat or a dog. I didn't get to the dog yet. The dog wasn't that exciting. But here's a dog. Look at this one, how cute that is. I actually got that from the Humane Society. They have an ad, and I was doing an auction for them, and I said, do you mind if I use that ad for my sample, and I'll do one look? She goes, no, yeah, you can use it. So I did it, and that's the one that I ended up selling at the Sterling. But I had so much fun with the curly hair, and again, I have to look at the texture and the contrast. You want the contrast. The cute little button nose. What's another one? This one is one I just did like 2 weeks ago. It's the most recent one I've done. And I loved the photograph they gave me. It was really great warmth to the photograph, the light. And I think it's one of the more painterly ones that I've done,
Yeah, it looks almost like a photograph.
Oh, I think it's a really cute dog to begin with, so you can't go wrong with a Westie. I think, they're darling, and the softness and the fair, and I don't know if you can see it, but you see the texture in the paper too. This one I actually forgot to flip it over, but I actually started liking it when I started working on it. I went, ooh, you can really see that texture. Do you see the texture in the paper? And this is just a photocopy of the original. The original went already. But even on the photocopy, the texture of the paper comes through, and occasionally I do like the way that looks. So that's Sadie. And then this one, oh yeah, I was talking about different colors in dogs. Look at this one. This one is like a brindle almost. See, with the freckles? So what I would do is just put a little black and then blend it in so it softens it so that it makes it blend into the fur. And the face was I used a lot with my stump and the colored pencils. The pastel pencils can get the details, the eyeballs, and then of course I put a background in it, which always helps make a painting look more finished. And I could leave it like that and it looks cute as a sketch, but I call it more of a sketch until it's really painted. Then I call it a painting.
When you copy those, do you copy it directly to your copier?
I have a printer, and I usually have a JPEG on my computer that I blow up, and I set it for 8 by 10, and it'll actually print out this is exactly an 8 by 10. So I know that it's going to go right on, this is actually a bigger, this is 9 by 12, but most of the paintings I do, I set it for 8 by 10, and I just pretty much trace that onto my paper with the graphite sheet. And that way it's like a carbon. And I just trace over it and get the bare outlines, that's all.
But these copies that you have.
Oh, these are photocopies that I took a photograph of my art,
Took a photograph.
and then I printed that out
Wow.
on an 8 by 10, and I framed it, and nobody knows the difference practically.
Very good.
Because now, think about it, if I go to an outside event, if you have pastels, you have the possibility of losing everything if you have one rainstorm or problem. With these, I'm going to the On Top of the World art show, November 2nd. I'm going to be out in the elements, and if moisture builds up underneath here, I've lost $5 for my mat, because that'll curl up, and 50 cents for the sheet of paper that I printed out. I can go easily replace it. So it works beautifully for me for having my samples to set up for my dog portrait.
What
Now,
kind of paper do you print it onto? Is it
I just
photo
paint it
paper?
on, yeah, this is just photo paper. And sometimes I do a brochure paper, it's a little bit cardstock. It does actually work better if I put it on like a flat brochure paper that I bought. It is a little bit stiffer, heavier weight. Yeah, I do try to use that. I'm not sure if this one turned out amazingly well. I'm just amazed myself how well it came out for a reproduction, you know?
Surprise
You ever use
yourself.
matte?
Because you pay good money to go to my favorite art place or anywhere to get prints made. I have had prints made of my landscapes that are framed, that are beautifully done, but that I'll pay, you know, quite a bit, especially for the digital capture.
Have you ever printed on matte photo paper?
Matte photo paper.
Yeah, matte, it works really nice.
Oh,
Photograph.
you're probably right, yes.
Not glossy, yeah.
Like as if you were doing a photograph onto a real quality photographic paper, I bet it would be even better. You're right. I didn't even think about using that. Because again, I've already had to do this cat twice because I was at my last show in Largo, and a man came along in a wheelchair with his wife, and they loved it. And it's my daughter's cat. I just had it framed as a sample. And he was like, "How much is the cat?" And I went, "Oh, well, actually, that's not for sale. It's my daughter's cat. I just had it as a sample." And he went, "Okay." And he went away, and they came back. And his wife said, "Is there any way we could buy that from you?" And I said, "Sure." I thought the better of it. I thought, what am I holding on to a stupid, I could easily go home and print another one. I mean, the frame that I had wasn't even like a great frame. It was an 8 by 10, I think. It was like one of these. And I think it was like I don't even know what kind of, it was probably something I bought at Home Goods for $7.99. So I said, "Yeah, how about $10? He said, "That's fine." And he even went around to the other places, and I saw a man later from another table, and he said, "Oh, is that your cat that you did?" He said he came over, he was looking at it, and he was just loving his cat. So you don't know
Yeah,
what.
I like it, right? Yeah.
I'll tell you what, doing pets has been one of the biggest things to me as an artist, that I feel I have more appreciation from the pet portraits that I do for people. A lot of them are from people that have lost their pet. And I know Joy has had that experience too. They are so touched when they see this pet. I've had people cry. They get so touched when they see that pet, and you know, it's their baby, and it just brings it. Well, I try to do them very realistically, so I think they do see something in the eye. I'm popping my peas here. I used to work radio, so I know not to do that.
Customers, do you have a website? Or?
I actually do have my Facebook page, and I've gotten people from different places that have seen that, but I have a little shop here in town called Thistle. I don't have a shop. I display in a little shop called Thistle, and Paula has been wonderful for me to have a sample of my old dog Lily sitting in the corner, and she has some other little samples of my work there, and she talks it up all the time, and she'll say, "I have another one for you," and she'll send me, but she takes 50%. And she marked up the quality. To tell you the truth, I only charge $85 for these.
That's amazing.
And that's what I always have charging, because I live at Top of the World and I have a lot of seniors there. I hate to charge more, you know, I really do. But she charges $125 for this size. But then I get $62.50. But you know, I guess I shouldn't say I'm not in it for the money. I mean, I definitely live on Social Security and whatever I can get out of these. So I definitely am in it for the money, but still, I know I'm not going to get rich quick. So I teach and I do other things. I sell my landscapes, and That's how I'm making my money.
And your pen and inks are awesome too.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I should get them juried here and bring in a few of the pen and inks. I enjoyed doing those from years gone by. Well, thank you. I think we're probably going to have to wrap it up. It's almost 42. Thank you so much.
See it up close?
I know it. I just want to be on camera.
That's fast.
My husband had fun. Yeah, they have it fun.
You can actually see it.
Does anybody see a pet of theirs up there?
My house for coffee.
I know that one there, my daughter's little Moses. Yeah, he's out to a year ago.
So I did one, and my daughters, my granddaughter-in-law, son, their dog's name is
Oh, is that right?
and it's a boxer. Oh, and I did one for her for Christmas, and she just turned